Hello and welcome back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube channel. Today I'm here with Danny Khan, the current UK national champion. Welcome. Lovely to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And it would be great if we could start off by learning a bit about your first Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience.
My Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience, probably like a lot of people. I used to play the game when I was a lot younger, when the show was still on TV.
Yeah.
And then I must have stopped playing at some point during school. And then I got back into the game about 2015. I had a couple of friends that at uni, also like me, used to play back when they were younger. And we just literally went to a shop, bought a bunch of mega tins, opened them up, and just kind of played really casual games from there. We didn't know the rules or anything. We just,
classic Yu-Gi-Oh!
Just classic Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like typical playground Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, we just made stuff up as we went along. And then from there, I found the locals, we started going, and then here I am.
So that's when your competitive side started to build up a bit?
Yeah, kind of. Towards 2017, 18, we started going to regionals and things like that, and from there it just kind of grew and grew.
Sure. Okay, so moving on to your experiences sort of throughout the years, what would you say has been your favourite format that you've played in?
My favourite format, it's probably between the two, is the first format I played competitively. It was, I want to say late 2016, early 17.
Yeah.
So it was BA, Cosmo, Monarch, that kind of format.
Yeah.
Just because it was my first experience into competitiveness, I loved it so much. I loved BA as a deck.
Yeah.
It was the first deck I topped a regional with.
Okay.
Super proud moment for me. But I think overall my favourite format ever was Toss format, if you know what that is.
Yes.
So it was Thunder Dragon Orchestra.
Yeah.
I loved it. You could play
so good.
You could play any deck and it was good. You had a chance to beat all the other decks. And I think that's the only format where I literally played every deck at a regional or something. It was great. Yeah, I loved it.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's one of my personal favourite formats.
I think a lot of people love it.
It's just so... I just love Orcust.
I played them all. I love them all. All the decks were great.
So moving away from the format, if we move on to sort of the players who are out there in the world, are there any particular players who you idolise or you think are up and coming?
I don't know if idolize is the right word, but there's so many players that I think are at a really high level. I have huge respect for them. I love watching these kind of players and learning a lot from them. You can always learn stuff from different people. There's so many good players at the minute. Even some people are still it blows my mind. There's people that are 16, 17, and they're topping YCS and stuff. Is mad. Back at that age, I wouldn't have imagined being where they are now. And I'm I'm an old man now, and only now am I starting to top events regularly and stuff.
But you're doing it, right?
I'm doing it, yeah. I don't know how much longer I'll be doing it for, but honestly, the game's in a good place, I feel, in terms of really good players coming through.
Okay. So of all the players that are out there, is there a particular one who you'd be really excited to play against?
There's so many. There's so many good players I'd love to play against. Again, if I had to pick
you
a
don't
name,
have to name
one player I really liked, I haven't seen him play in a while, but it was Tom Rose. I back then, because he played a lot similar decks than what I played. He played BA for a while. He played Orchest. I like those kind of decks. I got to meet him a few years ago. It was really cool. He's such a nice guy.
Also a previous national champion.
That too, yeah. That national championship, he won. He took BA. Nobody was playing BA.
That was crazy.
It was mad. I took that same deck.
Yeah.
The kind of list he had, he was playing it was something 37 monsters and just 3 seconds light. I took that same list a few weeks later and won a regional with it.
Wow, okay,
yeah. So he inspired me a lot back in the day. He's someone that I really looked up to.
Fair enough. So going back to events, is there a single event which you would say is your favourite that you've ever played?
Has to be Last Nats.
Last Nats?
Has to be Last Nats,
Okay,
if I answered anything else, it'd be wrong, no.
Maybe there was a regional that you won?
Yeah,
really?
those were proud moments at the time, but I honestly think nothing will top what happened last year in terms of, it was my first ever Premier top. I don't go to many YCS and stuff, I just don't have the time. So I only really come to Nationals, and previous years I'd had a lot of heartbreak with bubbling out or just missing out top cut narrowly. So to finally make it was a relief, and to take it all the way was just I never thought it would happen, but it did.
Unbeatable.
And it's insane when that kind of stuff happens. It took me a few days for it to sink in, but it's such a you feel everything you've done up to that point. That was 8 years worth of Yu-Gi-Oh! For me, all came into one, and it made everything worthwhile.
Wow. I think it's a really amazing success story to take, any challenges or any previous experiences events and turn them into a win.
Of course,
But will it compare to being a back-to-back national champion?
So this year there's, I think, 2 back-to-backs right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make it the third.
wanna get on the
I'd love to be the third. Yeah, no, it's
It'll happen.
if it does, yeah. I think this year would top last year if I was to win it again. But when that happens, I don't know, but I'll give it my best.
No, good luck for it.
Thank you.
Is there any advice that you, having that experience, you know, you've come through, you've had these local and regional experiences where you've done well and you've built up that success to a national championship. Is there any advice that's come out of that that you would give to a new player or to someone who's looking to develop their skills?
Best advice I can give to anybody, doesn't matter how you're trying to improve in the game, is just to practice.
Okay.
And just practice. Practice makes perfect. That's what people say, and it is true. Like, in terms of my own success, like regionals or winning regionals or doing well in anything, it's always from practicing a lot.
Yeah.
With any kind of free time I get, again, like I say, I don't get much, but the time I do, I try and make the most of it. I don't, like, people play the game for different reasons. Some people play it casually, some people want to do really well. The best advice I can do is practice, enjoy it, because it's a hobby at the end of the day, just enjoy it, and always be like kind of open to other people's advice. I feel like it's not in just this community, I feel like in life in general, people can be quite closed off from outside opinions. You always I was like that back in the day. I always thought I was right, I know what's best, I know what kind of cards are good, but always being open to other people's opinions is so valuable. Like, it can put different perspectives on things that maybe you didn't even see, and you use one of those games where it's so diverse. Like, very different than other TCGs. Other TCGs have like set rotations and things like that, where we don't. We can play any card from whenever it was printed, as long as it's legal, and you get all these strategies that come out of that from cards that were like printed in 2004 are like relevant again. Like last year's Nationals, we had Book of Moon as like a staple in most people's decks. That was a card from like 2004, something like that.
Crazy.
It's mad. So like that kind of innovation, if you're like really narrow-minded, you won't always see that. So other people kind of bringing that to light really just opens up the game for everybody, I feel.
Yeah, it's great advice. Thank you. Well, Danny,
Okay.
thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Pleasure having you
Thanks
on.
for having me.
And thanks for answering the questions, giving advice to our viewers.
Happy to do it.
Take care.
Thank you very much.